She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Homo, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Not So Straight Nerds. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And today, we are talking One Piece Season 2
finally.
on Netflix. This is much later than we anticipated, but we had a lot of stuff coming out that we needed to cover that became a lot more urgent.
Yeah.
We had a vacation the week after this show came out, and we had the outline all up and ready to go, but then things were hitting nonstop, and we never had time to film this episode until right now.
Mm-hmm.
So better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
Before we start talking about One Piece as a franchise and as the show,
Vibe check.
How are the vibes, Alicia?
They're pretty good. I'm kind of starving, so I may not feel as yappy this episode. But that's okay. I'm sure our audience does a vibe. I'm sure they're like, please shut up. Anyways, yeah, but I'm excited to finally talk about this, even if it's so long overdue. Because I love this show. I was very behind. It's kind of like Sandman, although Sandman I did try and just didn't give it its proper due until a rewatch. And then One Piece, I guess, kept putting off until I couldn't anymore. I had to for the second season, and I'm so glad I finally watched it. Yeah. So I'm excited to talk about it for sure.
Yeah, so my husband Cole, he loves the anime of One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that has like over 1,000 episodes. So I'm like,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I am too much of a completionist where I want to finish anything I start.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot start a show that has 1,000 episodes. And especially because that anime is very repetitious, so it constantly just keeps flashing back to prior episodes, and I'm just like, dude, why do you have whole episodes that are just things that have already happened?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't fathom that.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm not trying to diss on anime. I think there are some good animes out there. I'm typically a little bit wary of them just because I feel like a lot of them tend to really sexualize any of their female characters. Sometimes they're male characters too. They just sexualize everybody. And it's just like the style, I guess. But just because it's the style doesn't make it not misogynistic. And that's the same thing with One Piece. Is I've seen pictures where I'm like, yeah, that's I don't want to watch it. So, sorry, stop sexualizing your characters, and maybe I'll be interested in more stuff. I've seen some animes, and they've been really good. But, anyways,
Okay.
it's just my thing.
Gonna go ahead and put up spoiler warning. We are gonna be talking spoilers, specifically just of the Netflix One Piece show. That's going to be seasons 1 and 2. We do not know anything further. Well, not a lot further in One Piece lore.
I don't. You know a little bit, but yeah. So.
But nothing I'm going to say should be all that spoilery.
Yeah.
So you have been warned. Yeah. So, jumping right into this. So I kind of just said how familiar I am with it, and I'll also say my sister also watched a decent bit of One Piece. So some of these characters I've seen before. Like I've seen Luffy before.
Okay.
And I've heard of the Straw Hat Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna guess how much did you know before anything Netflix came out?
None. I mean, I had seen clips. I mean, I had seen people talk about it. It's a popular show. It's kind of one of those things that even if you haven't watched it, you've definitely seen something about it online. So I knew that he had stretchy powers. Specifically, I had seen it talked about the most when Miss Marvel was coming out, because people were comparing, the fact that they were saying, well, we just can't do stretchy power. It's too hard. I'm like, but over here, you're doing it and it looks great. So, and then, later that entire argument was dumb anyways because they did Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four. So it's like, no, you just like didn't want to do it for her, but it's fine. So I heard about it talked about the most in that time area. So I had also seen what Luffy looks like. I'd seen some other characters. But I knew like pretty much next to nothing until closer to when we had started clocking that it was coming up. Then y'all started talking about, it's like a pirate show. We talked about that because we were watching the Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm sure. I started learning a little bit more about it, but I pretty much went into it with very little knowledge of what I was getting into. I knew I was getting into a bit of a quirky show, a little silly, little fun. Don't take it too seriously. It's like one of the, like a fantasy show, but not like, don't expect like Lord of the Rings or something, and different vibes.
Sure.
So
I feel like it's actually something a lot more akin to like Vox Machina or Mighty Nein. It does feel actually very D&D-ish.
yes,
Which I think adds a lot to its charm, actually.
I agree. It's very charming. I love that. That's absolutely. I love the variety even within a genre. So I feel like I went into it with the right expectations, and it set me up really well to really like that show. I didn't know too much, but I knew enough of like the vibe I was getting into to really enjoy it. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
What I think adds a lot to its charm is I think the characters are pretty silly. But then like the places that they go take itself very seriously, which I think really adds to the whole like D&D feel of it all.
Yeah. And even within their crew, they just have different dynamics. Like obviously Zoro's very serious. But even he has little charming moments of jokes and everything, his own version of that. He's very cool. Everyone is very cool in their own right. Even Luffy, who's very, very silly. He has serious moments, and his powers are very fun. I don't know. Everything's very charming, and I think it helps that I didn't go into it knowing at all what people thought about certain characters, certain casting choices, so I could really just form my own opinions. Like, it was surprising to me when season 2 came out, seeing more people obviously start talking about the show again online, how a lot of people apparently really dislike Luffy's casting. Like, not just, it's an okay cast. Like, they dislike him. They think he's a bad casting. And I just can't fathom that. He is one of, honestly, if not my favorite character from that show. I think he does a great job. Now, obviously, I didn't watch the original anime, so I don't have anything to compare it
From
to.
what I've seen of the original, it seems pretty great casting. He's giving, in both the show and the anime, from what I've seen, it's giving, like, a real-life, almost like Dora the Explorer type, where he, like, talks things out really explicitly. It's like, like, they are my best friends, so I'm going to do anything for them. And it's just, like very exaggerated, but it's like, that's what he's doing. And, like, so truly, if you can pass that off in live action, he's doing it.
Yes,
like truly, like I think that is I think such a hard character to play, of someone who just is so aggressively endearing and open. It's
positive and
it's
he could
I
be
think it's a
getting
very hard
arrested
role
and-
to play.
yeah, he could be getting arrested. Like I mean, he was literally about to get like executed, and he was like making jokes and like I'm like, this is such an unserious character, but I adore him so much. Yeah, I hope to see him in more things.
Absolutely.
Cast.
If we'll maybe focus on season 1 briefly.
Yeah.
Best parts. Obviously Luffy. I think he makes a great introduction.
Yes. I mean, the cast, I will say, which we have differing opinions on this. I really liked Alvida. You were not a huge fan of her, but she doesn't have a huge part in the first season, but she pops up a couple times.
I feel like
her.
it's giving. I feel like the way she talks reminds me a lot of Luffy, but like in the negative connotation. And I don't know. I feel like it's it doesn't work as well for her as it does for Luffy.
I think maybe for me, it just helped quite a lot the fact that she was in The Sex Life of College Girls. And I loved her in that. So I'm like, oh my god, it's Bestie, she's here. Anyways, I'm trying to find everyone's names because it has been a while. And you know me, I'm forgetful.
I love
Buggy!
Oh, Buggy.
The clown! He's so
I
funny.
think he's so fun. Love that he's that guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
I can't not see him, which is really funny.
The casting was pretty fun.
And I love the effects on him as well.
Yeah, his design, the visual effects. I agree. That was a fun episode. Oh my god.
I love Zoro so much. I think
Oh, yeah.
him, off the bat, him and Luffy have such an amazing dynamic.
Yeah.
And then not to mention, he's just so badass.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They made the 3 sword technique work in live action, and that is impressive.
Yeah. I agree. Zoro's like him and Luffy are my 2 favorite characters for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nami is a close third though. I love Nami.
I think that the show, this live action, is doing a lot more work off the bat to make Nami like feel like a real character.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of her in the show, in the anime,
Mhm.
I don't love like at all. But I think she's. I think that actress does so much.
I agree. I feel like, it's very easy for the only female character in a crew to come off as like the mom character. But I feel like she gives like a almost Black Widow vibe where she is like the glue of the group, but that's different than being the mom of the group.
Sure.
I feel like if
that.
anything, Luffy's definitely the mom of the group. Like
Yeah.
he's so giving mother. Yeah. But I do feel like she's like the emotional glue of the group, in a way.
Surely.
And she's also badass. So, yeah, very fun character. I love her design. Love her hair. I'm like, girl, you look great as a blonde. Like in this picture I'm looking at, she's blonde. She looks great. But I'm like, if you ever want to do something else with your hair, you're a great redhead. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I love a lot of the different arcs throughout season 1. Like the cutaways, I think, are fun. Like the things that they focus on are really fun.
Mm-hmm.
The sharks look surprisingly good considering they're shark people.
Yeah.
I love the ship. I think it's the Jolly Mary. I think it is such a fun little ship. I think it's so perfect and quirky. But still, like, I think it's brought to life really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be on that boat.
Mhm.
Trying to think of antagonists that I liked from season 1 other than Buggy. Oh, there was the guy with the, like, axe hand.
Yeah.
He was intense.
Yeah.
And the snail phones are really fun as well.
Mhm. I agree. I already shouted out that personally I like Alvida, even if maybe other people don't, but it's okay. And then Buggy, yeah, fun episode.
I will say, and I know we disagree to this to some extent, but I also enjoy Sanji. I really love his episode where he was introduced with being on the island with the chef. Love
Yeah.
that episode.
I agree.
I will say he comes in with probably the least amount of like reason to be there, which I think is unfortunate. But I like his dynamic in the group.
I just unfortunately him and Yusuf are okay to me, just okay.
I will say in season 1, I thought Usopp was like really annoying, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just like
It's hard to
didn't-
convince me you want to bring this guy on the boat with you.
I just don't remember him a lot from season 1. I do remember him from season 2. He had him and Sanji. I feel like had some good moments, and I like them now. I like them all now. They're still definitely my least favorites of the group, but they're better in season 2.
I will say, I enjoy Sanji being there in season 1.
Mhm.
I don't really start warming up to Usopp until season 2.
Okay, probably me too.
I don't know.
I like deep enough. To, like,
Yeah,
see
he's
what
definitely like the bottom of, but then like, but
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
there's a bit of a gap between them for me. Also, Kobe in the first season,
Yeah. To worst parts,
yeah.
Kobe and I don't even know how to say it. Helmpo.
Who is that?
The other guy, the guy with a really horrible haircut, like the little bangs hair. It's giving. I'm so sorry. We just talked about the Rose Prada, so I'm thinking about this. It's giving Anna Wintour, but like bad. But like if it wasn't Anna Wintour. It's the other Marine guy. This like son.
Helmeppo.
Helmeppo.
Oh
So
God,
sorry.
no, he's
Yes.
that's brutal.
Both of them are pretty rough, and it sucks because I like Kobe's introduced with pink hair, and I'm like, oh my God, and then I'm like, ugh, pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that never really changes for me. I will say,
No.
season 1 and season 2.
For real, I completely agree.
Yeah. I've never really cared about the Marine storyline. I think in season 2 they had
They add some elements that make it like worthwhile to be
Yes.
watching,
yeah
even if it's never the most interesting thing to be watching.
yeah.
I think that's
I don't.
maybe what I have for season 1.
Yeah.
The cast I think really helps, like the introduction of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a bunch of plot lines that specifically focus on some of these characters, which
The
I
main
think really
characters
works.
and their storylines are good overall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then honestly, finding the One Piece, great pitch. I love it.
Yeah.
The anime nailed it.
I agree.
On Driving Force. So going over to season 2, I will say I was very excited to see this continue.
Me too. Even before the first season, I just heard that I might be saying her name wrong. Charithra? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Charithra sounds
Chandra.
better. Yeah. She played. Oh my God, Miss Sharma, Edwina Sharma in Bridgerton, and was amazing in that.
She was.
I was very excited that she was going to be casted, and it seemed like that is one piece of information I went in with, that she seemed like kind of a fan favorite, because everyone was excited for her, not only her casting but just her character. So I was very excited to see her in season 2. That gave me another good excuse to finally watch season 1. And then of course after season 1, I was definitely hyped to see more of some of these characters and where they went with them. So, yeah.
Indeed.
Expectations were high.
Yeah, and I was very excited because I think season 1 hit harder than I think even Netflix anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
So having it come in being held at the same esteem as like Bridgerton off the bat, I was very excited.
I mean, somebody pointed out like a month ago or so that when Netflix creates like a custom intro logo with the N, like that usually means it's one of their more popular shows and they're less likely to cancel it. And that includes this one as well. So.
I remember early on in the year they had the Tiana Taylor What's Next? And it like had she was like the fortune teller, and then like the person was going through all of the different shows, and I was like, "What is yeah, dude, so hype." But yeah, I had pretty high expectations. I will say that the cons of this season 1, I still think it's a great season, but it does knock it down a couple notches for me. I was very hopeful that they were going to correct some things this go around. And I would say, for the most part, it does. I would say this second season is a solid notch above season 1 for me.
Yeah.
So, best parts of
Season
season 2.
Well, speaking of Miss Edwina Sharma, Miss Wednesday.
Yes.
What a baddie. I had seen like the design of her when people were discussing her beforehand, and that was very exciting. And then once I watched season 1, got the vibe of the show, I was like, she's gonna fit in perfectly. Like, I'm so excited for her. And she was so fun right off the bat. The guy,
Mr. Nine.
Mr. Nine with the little like question mark things.
And the
Yes, I
pinky.
loved how all of them used their pinkies for different things. He was really fun. I feel like maybe he started a little like, I don't know, but I really liked him towards the end. And then let's see. Obviously, Buggy comes back. Alvida comes back.
I will say I think her performances, Alvida, I preferred here in season 2, but the slip fruit was also pretty hard to get over.
Slip fruit. But that's all over TikTok, or that was. So, you know what? Iconic.
I'm glad she has that moment. Oh my gosh.
And then Mr. Five and Miss Valentine were a duo.
Dude, okay. Mr. Five looked cooler,
Yes.
but Miss Valentine had the really cool power.
Yes. Dude, once we found out it didn't have to be boogers that turned into bombs, that's when I'm like, now this is invalid. If it has to be, that's just an unfortunate truth for you. Then he's like, any liquid? I'm like,
Spit.
spit, dude. Spit. Like, that's actually... So you're choosing to do... I'm like, that's disgusting, dude. Your design is so cool, and yet your powers, you're choosing for them to be so gross.
You're like a grosser Gambit.
And then Miss Valentine, sometimes her outfits were giving a little Spirit Halloween.
Yes, unfortunately.
But her powers were cool, and I do feel like maybe I grew used to the outfit a little bit more.
I'd agree.
So I warmed up.
I would say the
to her.
performance sold it more.
Yeah, I warmed up to her more than Mr. Five, and that's not really the actor's fault. It's just the writing choices of having him do that. And I don't know, maybe they did in the anime.
What's her name?
But still.
In the very first scene, even Miss All Sunday.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought her
Dude.
opening scene. I thought she was so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, the arms just coming out of anywhere and then disappearing in the flower petals.
Woo!
Dude, I'm sold.
What an intro. And then when she shows up on the boat, baddie. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's supposed to join their crew at some point, right?
I don't
In the anime.
know. I know
I
she
think I heard that.
Interesting.
I think she does.
That feels like a lot for them to have. But that makes sense.
Well, because Miss All Wednesday is not going to be with them forever. She does eventually apparently go off and do her own thing.
Yes, which I think is gonna be really sad actually.
I know. I'm
she's
like,
really
no,
fun
I
to
want her to
see.
be around. But you know what? The Netflix show is moving at a much slower pace.
Yes.
Obviously because there's a lot to cover. So you know what? It's not necessarily like she's gonna leave next season. Maybe I don't. Cole would know that better than us. But hopefully she'll at least stick around for another season.
I hope
And
so.
even when she does go, I hope we see pop-ups of her. She's very fun. But you know what? If we have to replace her with Miss All Sunday, you know, she's also a baddie. So I
Indeed.
guess there's that.
Episode 1 also gave us Smoker. And he's pretty badass.
He is. I agree.
He's the most compelling reason for us to keep looking at the Marines.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I think the sword lady that works with him a couple times, I never really warm up to her ever. I think she starts weird and she never gets not weird.
I don't know. For me, I think it's not, and maybe it's the case that I recognize her from Fear Street, same as Nami. I would say I wish she was doing more, but I would say she's not on the level of Kobe and that other guy.
No,
She's
no,
like
I
a
agree
notch,
with
but
that.
she's somewhere between them and Smoker for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also want to shout out, since we're still on characters, Chopper. We haven't talked about Chopper yet.
Oh my god, Chopper.
Specifically,
The tiny Chopper.
cute, tiny Chopper. Now I
And as a
understand.
deer form. When he's in as a deer, I think Chopper also looks adorable and pretty well realized.
I understand that the whole point is that he's supposed to be ugly and scary looking as a grown Chopper, because people are supposed to be scared of him. I'm not scared of him because he looks scary. I'm scared of him because he looks like he has filler and Botox.
I'm not scared of him in the fact that I'm scared for my life. If I see him, I'm scared in the fact that I'm gonna walk across the street and not let my kids look at him.
He looks like someone. The design. He looks like someone who would be in the beauty show. You know what I mean? It's giving Botox and filler. Too much of it. I just
And
think
you know
it's
what?
a bad
I'm
design.
gonna say it. It's giving furry. And hey, I am not
What?
one. I'm not one to hate on furries, but this is a scary looking furry.
I don't know if I really see that.
It's
but
giving
I
guy
don't
in
know.
onesie to me.
I don't know,
A
man.
really buff guy
I
in a
think
onesie.
it looks a little too like human deer esque. For me to be like, no. I don't know. Even if that's an accurate design, I just think overall it didn't translate well to a live action. If it's not, from the original, why would you do that?
And
I don't know.
And the voice doesn't change, which
Yeah.
also,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it is the most bizarre thing hearing that adorable voice coming out of that.
I don't know. I hear you. I hear the defenses. I just don't. It doesn't really change my mind on them, on my opinion.
Because
Yeah,
now,
we'll see.
when it should be, and it's really unfortunate. Now, anytime that they should have a really strong character, it should be the feeling of, yay, we have him to come and deal with this problem. But now it's gonna be like,
I
can
don't
someone
wanna
else
see
give it
that
a try?
again. Yeah. Can he be the last resort? I don't want to see him, please.
Oh, Chopper.
Yeah.
I will say his arc is also really endearing. Mostly,
I loved his episode.
he had a couple.
Well, the one I'm thinking.
flashback episode.
Yeah, the flashback episode.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, his dynamic with the professor was really cool, and then also, what is her name? I loved her.
Like Doctor Lady.
Yeah.
She was kind of awesome.
Dr. Korea.
Sure.
She was awesome. That was the character that I think, oh my god, Jamie Lee Curtis was saying that she would love to play,
Mm-hmm.
but she was saying that publicly to the press during the actor strike. And so people were like,
Oh no.
I don't
Not anymore, baddie.
I think how
Maybe
close to
not right
crossing the
now.
picket fence is this?
Yeah, not right now. This is not the time.
But this actress that we got was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Drum Island overall I thought was really cool. I'm trying to think of other people we found. Ooh, Little Garden I also had a lot of fun at. Like the dinosaur planet with the giants.
Yes.
Loved that whole sequence a lot.
Oh, we didn't shout out the one lady who could manipulate feelings.
Yes, because she's on Little Garden. What was her name? Mrs.
I don't know.
What on-
I'm so
Igaram?
so sorry.
I think maybe Igaram.
I don't know. But I thought she did a really good job. I loved that episode. I
She was
think it's
terrifying.
I think it's really funny that the actor for Luffy, in that one scene when he was shirtless with Chopper, was like, I loved that scene because I want people to make edits of me, and then they are, but they're also more so I think loving the scene when he has like the doe like puppy dog eyes, with all the paint on his face, looking at her all pained, and I'm like, yes, female caves. Yeah, I think that's really funny. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you got your edits in a different way than you thought you would, but you got your edits, dude. And I hope you're proud, because you should be.
We also had, I think it was Miss Golden Week was her name.
Okay.
And then Mr. 3 was the wax guy. And I
Ah.
will say,
Polka Dot Man!
David Desmelchian has such a crazy but really big
He's so quirky.
repertoire of
Yeah.
being filmography of being a really weird guy. I just watched him in Prisoners. And it's so funny seeing him just be a weird guy and everything.
Mhm.
This is, oh my god, that hairstyle of the 3 in his hair.
Oh my god, the one guy with like the cannons in his hair? You called that. You
Yes.
clocked that.
No,
You're like,
I
I
was
just
like,
know this is going to turn
This
into
is
it.
too much.
Yeah.
to
Like,
not
there
be
has
a
to
thing.
be a purpose, yeah. Yeah, I love that we're talking about who Luffy might be a descendant of. I think that whole thing's, I don't know why that reminded me of the clown, so now I'm thinking of that. But that's a really interesting storyline. Was that ever confirmed?
I think it is confirmed that
Okay.
he is the grandchild of Old Roger.
Yeah, who,
Who
set
hid
everybody
the
out
One
for
Piece.
Maybe, if it even exists.
That's a good point.
I
I don't think in the anime they've even gotten to him finding the One Piece, to my knowledge.
I mean, yeah,
1,000
I guess.
episodes in.
I mean, because then, what else would you do, I guess?
Yeah.
It's called One Piece.
No,
but I
it is
don't know.
crazy. But I really liked all of the wax stuff. I thought that never got super old for me, and they constantly were changing things up, like with like the fake versions of him, the house, the
Yeah.
giant statue cake thing that they were making.
I love that a lot of that was practical, that they were actually like in wax or whatever movie version it was. Or TV, whatever, you know what I mean. Yeah. I love like how much they use the practical effects. I think that helps make it look better, and then I don't know, just more artistry.
Absolutely.
It's probably more expensive to do it that way, but I appreciate that they do it anyways because I think it pays off.
Indeed. There's also, oh my god, I also loved being in Whiskey Peak, like the cactus town.
Yeah.
And then when it like does the close up and it's like it's not like pricks on a cactus, it's a giant hill with crosses for all of the people they killed.
Yeah.
Dude, a great gag. And then them having to fight the entire town. Oh, I loved that so much. In the whale was also fun. I really like the design of the whale. I thought he was
That whole
It's very
storyline was
tragic.
really sweet. Yeah. Ugh.
and then he's part of the crew. Dude, I can't. That poor whale.
I also want to shout out a really quick scene where, first of all, they're so incompetent when trying to like keep Miss Wednesday and the other guy captured. Like, dude, you're not even tying this correctly. You're not even keeping watch. Like, what are y'all doing? And Luffy's just like, I don't think she wants to kill us. I just love that guy. I'm like, you're so cute. Anyways, yeah.
No,
He's so
it's
funny.
like I want to pinch his cheeks
I know. I'm like,
and see how far I can pull him.
a long way. Oh my god! Shout out when he like grabs Sanji with his neck.
Yo, my god, that was
Ooh.
insane.
I love that. That's exactly what I was thinking he should do in that moment, but I wasn't expecting that to happen, and it did. And I'm like, yes, I love this show.
Drum Island was really fun. I thought the fight with the monsters was pretty cool.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to shout out the scene
God.
where Zoro is searching for new swords. I loved that entire just any I mean there's multiple scenes, but I just love that entire sequence. I loved just them being on that island and the different things they bought. I will say that's the most where Nami gave she gave more like father to me. Like, okay, here's a 20, go have fun, like she gave more father to me. Yeah. I don't know. And then her becoming sick and that whole thing with Sanji was sweet. Yeah, and the doctor, I don't know. I just liked so much of the season. I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 9 out of 10. So,
And on Little Garden with Usopp and the Giants, I thought helped his character a lot. I think gave him a lot more motivation to be there. I liked Sanji and Zoro's like rivalry. I thought that was really fun to watch.
ooh, shout out to the scene where Zoro kills what, like 100 people?
Yeah.
I love that he kept counting. I'm like, I adore you, Zoro. You are amazing. Yeah. What a badass.
He's so fun. That actor, I think, does such a great job.
When he's getting one of the swords, it's like, that's a cursed sword. And he's like, well, let's see. See if it kills me. Nope, guess not.
I'll take it. Add it to my tab.
He's like, it risks my life. Let's do it. Oh, Zorro. That's another actor where I'm like, you also look great as a blonde. I think wasn't he blonde on the press tour? I don't know. Whatever. I'm like, dude, you look great in green hair if you ever want to do that.
Bro, this crew is hot.
I know.
And then Chopper joined, and I'm like, you're cute, but
You're cute. Stay that way. Stay that way. No, I feel bad. I'm like, because he feels ugly, so I don't feel like he is ugly. But like, I just think it's a bad design. I don't think it's coming off as they want it to.
I
So
completely
that's my only thing.
agree. Any other pros before we move on?
No, I guess not. I don't really remember. Anything else right now? We covered a lot.
Moving on to worst parts. I will say, I think King Wapple is aggressively annoying,
Yeah,
and I also think very uninteresting.
that's fair. The guy with like the mechanical
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, okay,
That's
very fair.
Gosh, I think he showed up a little bit in season 1, but then he's all over season 2, and there's not a single scene where I'm like, this is interesting.
I agree with that.
His ability of like the I forget exactly what it's called, but like
Wasn't
the
it just
eating
turning
anything
his-
fruit,
Yeah, and you could turn your body into
anything he
that.
eats.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Oh no, and I feel like I've seen people use of like Luffy's fingers expanding out to like shut his mouth.
Quiet Coyote.
Exactly what that is. But yeah, I think him, especially as one of the bigger overarching antagonists, was
A choice.
a very obnoxious choice.
Yeah.
We talked about how Chopper's big, strong look is very unsettling.
Mhm.
I'm also gonna go a little more into Chopper with the Doctor.
Mhm.
Dr. Herolic. Dude, if you're going to kill yourself, like, to, like, try and take someone down, maybe don't monologue beforehand, needlessly.
I just hate when people that should be smart are dumb and make dumb decisions. It to the point where it feels almost out of character and pointless. It's like,
It's
okay,
very-
this is just for the plot.
It is aggressively pointless.
And it's very frustrating. It makes me feel like you think I'm dumb as an audience member. So, not really a great choice. Also, random thought, but when him and the other doctor were hiding out, it was giving Narnia. The first one. You know when they're hiding out in the little like areas in the forest and it's all snowy and like and the people they're on the run. It's just giving Narnia. Random thought.
Indeed.
I
I would also
don't know what
say
else.
we also talked the con about the nose picker.
Yeah. Slip fruit.
Ah.
I feel like that was maybe one of the weaker episodes from what I can remember, but that was earlier on. I do feel like it got really, really strong. I don't know. I'm really trying to think.
There was also we talked about those two marine characters that still are completely nothing. Gosh, it's been a second since
I
we watched
know.
the show.
I'm like, I forgot what else happened.
I mean, we've covered everything that happens. I'm just trying to get over, remind myself of how I felt about everything.
I feel like overall this season was definitely better than the first. Would you agree with that?
I would aggressively agree with that.
Yeah. I don't
I would
know.
say there's few detractors, but the couple detractors from the season are maybe a bit stronger than I felt for season 1.
Well, if we can't really remember anything else, what do you want from a season 3?
Season 3. Do know that at some point they have a guy who ate the ghost fruit. the ghost devil fruit. So he's like this like he's a ghost and he has a skeleton face. I'd love to have a ghost join the crew.
Would love Miss All Sunday to join the group.
I
I
don't-
don't know what
I don't-
the timeline is on that.
I haven't heard that, but I would love that. I think that
Yes.
actress is so fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a hard time seeing how she blends into the crew the way that like Miss Sunday did or Princess Vivi. So it'd be interesting to see how her character changes before that. And then also I feel like her powers solve most physical problems.
It'd be hard to like defeat that group at that point. You'd have to have a pretty big, powerful villain, to kind of, I guess, warrant that type of strength. Because I mean, at that point, it's like, why that reminded me of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, when the gang finally comes together and they have like one person from each element, and he's met at that point. That's when you fight the Fire Lord, because it's like the Avatar gang is just too unstoppable now. You gotta lock in with the main villain we've been building towards. It's no longer little tiny villains. So.
And they have been building up to the leader of all of the like the weak group. I forget exactly.
Mr. Zero?
Not Mr. I have apparently. I think Cole told us after the fact. He's like Mr. Crocodile.
Oh yes, that's who they teased at the end.
Yeah. So it feels like we're still building up to something with him. I feel like they built up Miss Sunday way better than they did him. Like I don't know. It's kind of giving Thrag a little bit from Invincible, where it's like, I'm sure he's going to be interesting when we get to him, but I feel like you're not doing a whole lot of work to convince me that like fighting him is going to be super interesting. Like I don't know what to expect.
Well, I mean, Thrag.
But then look at Thrag.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
So,
I see what you mean.
So I'm curious to see how many more agents are we going to have of like because we had a lot of them. I wonder how many more there possibly are to fight. I've really enjoyed fighting all of them, so would love to see more of them.
I agree. I would be interested to see if they could ever do anything interesting with the Marines.
Dude, if we're gonna keep cutting to them,
Like
Smoker, I think they're onto something with Smoker.
I agree.
So I think maybe getting maybe if there were more gum fruits in or the devil fruits in the Marines, that makes that group a little more interesting because they can do more stuff visually.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the crew grow more. We did just leave with Chopper, so I'm interested to see where he lands with like the entire group and like what his dynamic is with everyone. Because he's now like, I don't know if he's not technically a child, but he certainly has the vibe of like a baby Groot.
Oh, shout out to that actress who voices him.
Yes, from
great
the
job.
Superman movie.
Yeah, she does a great job, and then apparently she did do some like physical stand-in stuff for him.
Her?
Like they used her face and molded it to his. I think even small version too.
Rad.
So that's so cool. It's like she really is the character more so than just sounding like the character. So very fun for her. Yeah.
Trying to think of anything specifically for our characters that I'd like to see. It's
hard when it's such an open universe. Like it could go anywhere and do anything, and you just have no idea. So.
I would love to continue to see awesome stretchy stuff from Luffy. I want them to continually gag me from stuff I didn't think that he could do.
Yeah, I agree. Especially now that we know like he's a descendant of such a well-known pirate. That would be really fun if he stepped into more of a badass role. Still keep the charm, of course. Like you have Zoro for like the more serious badass. Zoro, I think, continue. He's doing great. It would be fun, I think, to do more with Nami. Always, I think, maybe just keep doing more with Sanji and Usopp. But Nami specifically, I'm like, she's such a badass. I want to see her do more.
A lot of season 1 was centered around her, so I understand maybe why she got a bit of a backseat this season.
Yeah.
It would be fun to see if she got something that allowed her to level up. It'd be fun to see. I know that at some point in the show, Cole talks about this thing where it's like, we can't go to this island until we're the best crew basically ever. So everyone needs to go off and train for like a year, and then we'll come back after we're all like experts at something. So I don't know. That's an interesting thing to think about in the context of this adaptation.
Yeah, I wonder how that would translate. I feel like that would have to be an in-between season thing.
I would hope so.
Yeah. That would be weird to have such a big time jump in the middle of a season. Like, oh, okay. But I don't know. We'll see. They've done a good job so far overall, so, you know, whatever they feel like they can do.
Absolutely. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Is there any question for you? If you could get the powers of any of the fruit that we've seen so far, which would you want?
I mean, Miss Salt Sunday. I mean, it's like, that's really cool.
Really cool. But I do also really like Luffy, like the
Yeah.
stretchy fruit.
I do. I agree.
No slip fruit?
No. No, we see how that could actually be a pretty big con. I mean, she's like fairly easily overpowered. I mean, it didn't take them that long to figure out how to use that to their advantage. I'm like, really, girl, you're gonna wear flip-flops or sandals when you can just like slide out of them like that? Like, you gotta get some better shoes then.
Crazy.
Anyway. Yeah, no, it's all Sunday for sure. And then Luffy is a close second, I would say, from what we've seen so far.
I would also say Smoker's up there for me. The idea of turning into a gas, I feel like there's a lot that he could be doing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're a gas, can you fly? Why you no fly?
Why no fly? Okay, fair enough. I'm excited to see more.
Indeed. Well, I think we're going to call it there. This is probably one of our shortest episodes.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
We chillin'. We wanted to talk about One Piece, so we talked about it.
Yeah.
So what did y'all think about One Piece Season 2 when you watched it, like, 2 months ago? Oh my gosh.
If you haven't seen it, please go watch it.
Yes, it's a really fun show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a comparative show that I would be like, if you like this show, you might like this. I would say, like, The Legend of Vox Machina and Mighty Nine. I'm trying to think if there's anything bigger.
I compared it to Avatar a few times. I feel like it's
sure
fun in that
No,
way.
I think that might be true. If you like the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, you should give this a try. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and until next time, I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And thank you so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.
Bye.